Today we shall discuss about the sources of Indian history. In previous video we shall discuss about same in the subtopic the types of sources on Indian history. What type of sources are to useful to the study of Indian history and to write the Indian history. Already I told there are two types of source on to the study of Indian history. One is archaeological sources and second one is literary sources. In previous video I totally explained the archaeological resources. Totally explain about archaeological resources. And today we shall discuss about literary sources. What is mean by literary sources? It means what type of text, what type of books are most useful to the study of Indian history. That is a literary source of Indian history. In this video I shall explain clearly the literary sources. The literary sources of Indian history can be divided into two categories. The literary sources can be divided into two categories. How many categories? Two categories. One is indigenous literary sources and second one is foreign sources. One is indigenous, Swadeshi, and foreign, Videshi texts. So once again the indigenous sources can be divided into two categories. Once again the indigenous sources can be divided into two categories. One is religious and second one is secular. One is religious and second one is secular are the resources in the part of indigenous. First one, religious sources. Religious means a particular religion like Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, Islamic, etc. These type of text includes in the part of religious texts. The religious texts once again can be divided into three categories. How many categories? Three categories. One, Brahminical text. Second one, Buddhist text. And third one, Jainism texts. Once again, the religious sources can be divided into three categories. One is Brahminical texts, second one is Buddhist texts, and third one Jain texts. First, I shall talk about the Brahminical texts. What is Brahminical text? Brahminical texts are written by Brahmins or Purohits. The Brahminical texts are most useful to the study of ancient Indian history. Okay? These Brahminical texts are written by Aryans. That's why The Brahminical texts also known as Aryan's literature. This Aryan's literature has been written in Sanskrit language. Brahminical texts are written in Sanskrit language. Especially these texts denotes about the information of Aryans. That's why the Brahminical text known as Aryan's culture. Especially they are wrote Vedas. That's why the Aryans culture known as Vedic culture. So this information about in further units. First of all, for the example of Brahminical texts are Vedas. Vedas are written by Aryans in Sanskrit language. Vedas are 4 in number. First one is Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharvana Veda. These all 4 types of Vedas should be described about the socio, religious and economic conditions of Aryans, and also discuss about the ancient Indian history. And Vedangas, Upavedas, Puranas. Puranas also 8 in number. Especially Puranas are described about the ancient dynasties like Magadhas, Mauryans, Shishunagas, etc., Guptas, etc., etc. Okay, epics also 2 in number. One is Ramayana and second one is Mahabharata. You know what is Ramayana? Ramayana is the story of Lord Rama and Lord Sita. And what is Mahabharata? Mahabharata is the story of Pandavas and Kauravas. These 2 epics are tells about what are the moral values of particularly Indians in those days, and what type of traditions and customs should be followed by the people and the rulers in those days. This type of traditions and culture was clearly shown in Ramayana and Mahabharata. So totally the Brahminical texts are most useful to the study of ancient Indian history. Okay, now we will go to Buddhist text. You know, Buddhism is one of the most ancient and famous religion in the world and India. This religion was founded by Lord Gautam Buddha. So Buddhist text also most useful to the study of ancient Indian history as contemporary period. Especially example, the holy books of Buddhism, Tripitakas and Lalita Vistara, Saddharma Pitika and Milinda Panha is the most important sources of Indian history, particularly the wing of Buddhist texts. Especially here we tells about Milinda Panha. The Milinda Panha is the conversation between the Greek king Menander and a famous Buddhist monk Nagasena. The conversation between Menander and Nagasena was the holy book of Milinda Panha. So this book tells about the story of Buddha. Okay, and next Jain text. Jainism also one of the most ancient religion in the world in India. This religion also most contribution to the Indian culture. In this Jainism text, 12 Angas, 12 Upangas, and 10 Prakaranas, and Chedi Sutra, 4 Mula Sutra, and Parisishta Parva are the most important text of Jainism and to the study of Indian history. Here 12 Angas are the holy books of Jainism, and 12 Upangas also most holy books of Jainism. These Angas are describe about the Jainism culture and Jainism traditions and customs. Especially the Jain Gurus Tirthankaras are denotes about in the 12 Angas and 12 Upangas, and also discuss about what type of culture should be followed by the Jainism and Jain followers. In India, this type of information about these two texts. Especially here we shall discuss about the Parisishta Parva. What is that? Parisishta Parva. This book was written by Hemachandra. Who wrote Parisishta Parva? Hemachandra, a famous writer during the period of Mauryans. In this text we shall discuss about the information of Mauryan kings in India. So here we shall discuss about in this text the religious sources are most useful to the study of ancient Indian history. One is Brahminical text, second one is Buddhist text, and third one is Jainist text. These three types of religious texts are most useful to the study of history and most valuable to the study of Indian history. Now the second category, secular texts. In the part of indigenous sources, the second one is secular text. Once again, the secular text can be divided into historical text, biographies, dramas, polity on works, Sangam literature, and scientific technical works. Here should be learned carefully. The secular texts can be divided into historical texts, biographies, dramas, works on polity, Sangam literature, scientific technical works. So now we shall discuss about clearly one by one. In the part of secular texts, first one is historical texts. Historical text means this is denotes about a particular persons of history. For example, here the Deepavamsha and Mahavamsha. These two texts are compelled to the religion of Buddhism. And in these books denotes about the story of Lord Buddha. Not only the story of Lord Buddha, and also discussed so many things in the period of contemporary world, especially political conditions, social economic conditions, and religious conditions or contemporary period should be written in Deepavamsham and Mahavamsham. And next, Ardhashastra. Ardhashastra is written by Chanakya. You know, Chanakya, also known as Kautilya. In this text, Kautilya wrote so many things on the system of administration. How the ruler ruled their people. How the ruler expansion of their kingdom. These type of principles can be explained in the text on Arthashastra. Nowadays also, a number of politicians or political leaders should be read this book. And next another one is Raja Tarangini. This book was written by Kalhana. Who wrote Raja Tarangini? Kalhana. Kalhana's Raja Tarangini described about the story of Kashmir kings. In this book, he described about the kingdoms of Kashmir kings. That's why we can denote about a particular contemporary history, especially Kashmir history, by this book. And the second one is biographies. Biographies are nothing but life stories. Biography is also most important or most useful to the study of our Indian history. For example, here I mentioned some biographies here. One is Buddha Charitra, and the second one is Harsha Charitra, and third one is Vikramanka Deva Charitra, and Prithviraj Raso. Buddha Charitra was written by Ashwagosha. In this book he wrote the stories of Lord Buddha, and Harsha Charitra also denotes about the ruler of King Harsha, and Vikramanka Deva Charitra. Bilhana wrote Vikramanka Deva Charitra. This book also denotes about the northern part of Indian rulers. And Prithviraj Raso is written by Chandabadhyay. This book is tells about the ruler of Delhi, that is Prithviraj. So how the ruler is came to existence, how to fall. This type of valuable information denotes in this biographies. And the third one is dramas. In those days, some poets and scholars are patronized by the rulers. That who were patronized by the rulers, they wrote some texts. The scholars and poets wrote so many texts. In that, here mentioned some popular scholars, poets of ancient Indian history, that is Kalidasa, Vishaka, and Sudraka. These three fellows are most popular poets in the ancient Indian history. Those who are writing their dramas, they were discussed so many contemporary issues. One part in the drama, they wrote a specific feature of story, real theme of that drama, and another part, they wrote the customs, traditions of the contemporary period of the people. So that's why we can denote so many so much information in these dramas. In works on polity, in this text, here also I can discuss it. The Ardhashastras, Kautilya wrote Ardhashastra. This is a political work. In this text, he wrote so many political principles. And next, Sangam literature. Sangam literature was created by Tamil poets. This is most important, very short answer question in the annual examination point of view. So students, listen carefully. The Sangam literature was created by Tamil poets. Who were created Sangam literature? Tamil poets and scholars. In this text, we denote three ruling families. One is Chera, Chola and Pandya. These three families are included in the Sangam literature. Most important Sangam literature books are Manimekala, Shilappadikaram. Manimekala and Shilappadikaram are the most important Sangam literature text. So this Sangam literature is denotes about especially ancient South Indian kingdom, ancient South Indian tradition and culture. So this is information can be denotes from the Sangam literature. And finally, we shall discuss about scientific and technical works. What is scientific? Scientific means technical knowledge. It's realistic texts like medicine, like astronomy, like health, etc. In this text, I mentioned 3 or 4 type of works. One is Varahamitra. He was a great scientific scholar in the ancient Indian history. He lived during the period of Guptas. He wrote Pancha Siddhantika. What is that? Pancha Siddhantika. The Pancha Siddhantika is the Bible of Indian astronomy. What is that? The Bible of Indian astronomy. What is that book? Pancha Siddhantika. Who wrote Pancha Siddhantika? Varaha Mitra. So he was the father of the astronomy in Indian. And also second one is Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta also a famous mathematician in ancient Indian history and a famous scholar. He wrote so many books for the view of scientific knowledge, especially Aryabhattiyam. This is information about the universal or universal. And also Charaka. Charaka wrote Charaka Samhita. What is that? Charaka Samhita. This is a medico work or medical text. Charaka Samhita is a medical text. In those days, in those ancient days, he can do the operations also. And Patanjali. Patanjali also a most famous scientific scholar. He wrote Mahabhasya. This is also a medical text. So in these books, we can get a lot of information about the ancient and medieval Indian history. So guys, tomorrow we shall discuss about the foreign resources. What type of foreign resources are useful to the study of Indian history? And whoever wrote the text. How the books are, foreign books are to study of Indian history. So this type of information can be seen in next class.